Hello, welcome to Beach View, our podcast about all sorts of things and stuff.
Yes, and today we're continuing with our Death Cab for Cutie albums. This time it's 2005's Plans.
Yeah, so how many albums have we done already?
Oh, I gotta go count.
I was just curious. 3, maybe?
No, we've done more than 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that Postal Service album.
Oh.
So this will be our 5th Death Cab for Cutie album, one of which we did, years ago.
Yeah, 5th album.
Yep.
Yeah, continuing on our Death Cab for Cutie album reviews. So, tell me what you thought.
Yeah, so this is also, I'd say, one of my favorite albums of all time. Although listening to it again, I feel like I would place Transatlanticism a bit higher. Though I still really like this album. Yeah, it is a bit different than Transatlanticism. I feel like it's going in an even more mainstream direction.
Mm-hmm.
And there's maybe, I wouldn't say less instrumentation. It's just I feel like they use a lot more synthetic instruments in this. Maybe I'm not right about that, but it definitely has a more synth feel to it in a little bit.
Okay.
Why, did you not get that?
Well, yeah, I didn't put that into words, but I did like it better. I thought this was probably my favorite album that I've listened to of theirs so far. I think I liked it better than Transatlanticism, and it's probably because of that kind of more synthy vibe, because, I like that, always there for that. So I wasn't thinking about that as I was listening, but now that you say it, I'm like, yeah, that's probably why I really liked it. I mean, I like the other ones, but this I think was my favorite.
Yeah, but again, I think they really continue on from Transatlanticism. Really, the lyrics are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these are, all really well written, well constructed songs. And again, there's a real flow to this album. I think maybe less so than Transatlanticism, but I like how the tracks are structured to go into each other. I feel like they really pick up where the other one left off.
Yes, that is very true. When I was listening to it, I noticed that the transition was really good from song to song. And in fact, sometimes I'm like, wait, did a new song start? If I wasn't paying attention as well, I'm like, wait, let me go back real quick. Let me start the song over, because it just really had a really nice flow to it, which I love that in an album.
Yeah.
Very nice transitions.
Yeah. And yeah, this also marks them getting way more popular. I think this is their first album on a major label.
Oh.
Yes, so, previously they had been on a indie label, and they moved up to a major label. This is also, their most popular album.
Yes.
By sales, and I think just, continued to be, of course, after this point, really, album sales stopped meaning as much.
Yeah.
This is, right on the cusp of digital taking over everything, but yeah, I still think this is, and it's certainly their most popular single is on this album, so.
Yeah, these songs were definitely, I would say, more recognizable for me, and I think because it was probably more mainstream at the time. I knew Death Cab for Cutie before 2005, but these you heard more, and I felt like I remembered them better. So I definitely knew this had to be when they were kind of getting more popular in mainstream, just because of the fact that I was like, yeah, I remember that one, the other albums, there weren't as many that I remembered as well.
Yeah. Yeah, good album.
Yeah.
It has some really good songs on it, some of my favorite from them as well.
Yeah, I really like this album. You know how I'm always looking for chill, low-key stuff. And this definitely has that vibe to me, while still having a unique sound.
Yeah, well, there are some, I would say, less chill, low-key stuff on here.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Especially lyrically, but it does have that sort of vibe throughout.
Yeah, it's just more, it's a good album to have on, in the background. That's kind of what I look for when I'm doing something at home, whether I'm cleaning or just picking up or having to do something at home and I want to have music in the background. That's the kind of album I want to listen to. Meaning there's nothing that's super abrupt on it, nothing's gonna be ugh, that kind of like was a harsh transition. You know what I mean? Like everything just flowed really well. It's like pretty chill, although it did have some like upbeat songs on it too. So I thought it was a good mix. And I thought the songs work really well together. I liked like the first song and the ending song. Like I thought those were really good as, you know, kind of bookends of the album. And yeah, overall, I would definitely listen to it again.
Yeah. I mean, I've listened to it many times, so.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, let's get into track by track.
All right, let's do it. So, number 1, Marching Bands of Manhattan. So, this was, I think, like I said, I really like the opening song on here because it just kind of like set the tone for the album, which I really like that. I think like the instrumentation on here was really nice. It's a kind of a softer, a little bit sad of a song to me, but I like the instrumentation a lot.
Yeah, it opens with this kind of like synth organ.
Yeah.
Really sets the tone. And I think the lyrics are really pretty. It's just kind of evocative imagery. Like if I could open my mouth wide enough for a marching band to march out.
Yes, I love the lyrics of this song. Like the ones that I noted were sorrow drips into your heart through a pinhole, just like a faucet that leaks, and there is comfort in the sound. I just think that's such a pretty couple of lines. And like you said, it's evocative, and I think their lyrics on here, to me, I think I like these the best out of the whole album. It's really pretty, but like I said, a little sad too.
Yeah, and I like the second half of it, which is like sounds like sort of a long protracted outro, but is like half of the song.
Yeah.
That part you mentioned, the sorrow drips into your heart part.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool, and it's like this cool building, repeated figure, and it fits with the imagery, the lyrics of like slowly rises.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really pretty. And like the kind of theme of like, I guess like longing, it kind of like captures that in the music and in the lyrics.
Yeah, and I like the ending where it cuts out, you know, your love is gonna drown. The last line is your love is gonna, and then it hits a note on the keyboard.
Yeah, I like that too. I thought that was good. Yeah,
Yep.
a little depressing, but
Maybe
can't fault it for that.
It stays bright enough musically. I feel like it's not.
Yeah, well, and I think a lot of these songs on here are the same way, where it's like bright enough musically, like kind of depressing lyrics, but like overall, like a super cool song.
Yeah. This is one of my favorites of theirs. Period. I think.
Yeah,
like
it's
I
a
definitely
good one.
stand out from this album, and I think their whole discography.
Yes. You know how I'm always like, these lyrics are poetry? Like, this is poetry right here.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. You ready for the next?
Yep.
Number 2, Soul Meets Body.
So this is one of the singles.
Yeah, this is one I've heard like several times before. And I can't remember, like, I feel like this was on something, like maybe a show or a movie or something. But I couldn't, I could have looked it up, but I didn't. but this is definitely like one of those fan favorites that you've heard like several times. It's like a catchy little song.
Yeah. And it's definitely one of those like, feels like very much of the era, that like indie pop, indie rock sound.
Yes.
I think it's easy to see why this like caught on.
Yeah, and I like that. Like, I wouldn't say this is my favorite song on the album, but I like that pop kind of sound with a kind of like, more, I don't want to say more thoughtful, but like deeper lyrics, I guess. Like, so it's not like a super poppy song. It just has more of a pop feel.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm listening to it, I was really thinking like, it reminds me a little of like a Phil Collins song from like Phil Collins era. It's got like a nice beat. This one's a little more upbeat than the first one, but still pretty like chill, I think. But like I said, it's catchy. I think it's got those like the deeper meaning of it makes it not pop,
Yeah, I feel like it has some like orchestral elements. I think those are all like synths or like, synthetic stuff played on a keyboard. But yeah, it definitely has some of that like kind of orchestral timbre and some of the instrumentation of it.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna have to go find a Phil Collins song to like compare it to now and send it to you. Because I'm like, I don't know why you're just like giving me Phil Collins, which is good. I like, it's kind of a cool throwback sound.
But yeah, certainly not my favorite on the album, like you said, but good song nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. And I could see why it was like a popular song.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Number 3, Summer Skin. Thought this was perfect for summertime.
I mean, it's about the end of summer, but sure.
Yeah, it definitely. But I really like the idea, like not the idea, like the theme of the song, I guess. I feel like this sounds like it would be such a good song on a soundtrack when like a summer romance is coming to an end. Like it just kind of like captures that bittersweet feeling, and that's why I like it, because it's like it's kind of like, an homage to like a summer romance, but it's all like ending now. So it's still a little sad, looking back at the summer. But also like that's just the way it is, So that's what I got from it.
Yeah. I really like the instrumentation on this track. The like sort of marching band drums throughout. The bass is really, really good, and it's like such a prominent part of the song.
Yeah.
Just like this repeated bass figure. I really like how that goes with the piano. They really like duet well together in this song.
I love their use of piano like throughout, like that. I always love that.
Yeah. Yeah, to me the bass really is the standout for this song.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's got a nice little beat to it. But still, again, like more chill, which is what I like about it.
Yeah, it's kind of a more down-tempo song.
Yeah.
Fitting for the mood of reflecting on a love that's ending.
I tell you, if this isn't on a soundtrack, it needs to be. I'm gonna look that up too.
Yeah. Yeah, this would fit for some sort of movie or TV show.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those songs that, like, how I like to make little soundtracks for my own life. Like, if I'm going like on a trip to New York, I'll make like a playlist of like all like New York songs. You know what I mean? Like, so this is definitely gonna be. Maybe it'll be on my end of summer soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, good song.
Definitely.
I really like it.
I do too. Yeah. Good top 3 songs. Starting off.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how they just start off the album and kind of, again, flow into each other. It was really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so number 4, different names for the same thing. Piano again. Love that intro.
Yeah, and it's kind of older piano, and it's got like this campfire noise in the background for the start of it.
Yeah, I was trying to identify like what that was.
It sounds like a fire.
Okay.
That's what I get from it.
Yeah. It didn't bother me. Like usually like sometimes noises like that in a song, I'm like, I can't listen to it. But this one was a little more mellow, I guess. It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. And it starts off a bit slower and then it like sort of builds into a more like electronic section with a kind of brighter, faster paced bit, and the piano's like I said, the electronic piano. So, kind of interesting bisected song there.
I really liked that arrangement, how they did that. I love the, how the piano, as you said, kind of builds into that more full like instrumentation. I thought that was really nice. And it's another like kind of emotional song too. So I like the lyrics. I think it's a pretty song.
Yeah. Next,
number 5, I Will Follow You Into the Dark.
Yeah, so this is another single, and it's their most popular song.
Yes, this is definitely a popular one. Fun fact, it is on my funeral playlist. It's a nice I made a playlist. Every time I go to a funeral, I play music that is like, very apt for the day, right? And so I just added this to my funeral playlist earlier this year. So yeah, it's definitely the most known song on this album, I think.
Yeah, went double platinum apparently.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Apparently didn't chart, though, on the top 40.
Oh, that's interesting. Went double platinum and didn't chart?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely like their most popular song. Well known. Probably a lot of people you bust this out to would know it.
Yes, I think so. It's got really pretty instrumentation.
I mean, it's just an acoustic guitar.
I really need to take better notes.
I mean, you can still say that. It's just like...
I was like, I like the
notable.
Instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just notable for being a, like, solo acoustic song.
I did write down acoustic, if that's helpful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, it's one of those, and, like, their first one, like, attempt at something like that.
Okay, so I guess you wouldn't say... Well, I guess you could still say that, but it doesn't...
Yeah, well, that is an instrumentation choice. It would be a different song with a full band.
Yeah, I just think it's really... It's just a pretty song. It's sad, but I like it.
Yeah, you know, I'm normally not a fan of the, like, you know, solo acoustic song.
Generally
not my favorite genre, but this is a very good song, you know?
Yeah.
It's good when it's done well.
Yeah, exactly. I usually like those types of songs on albums, because it's just kind of like a little bit different. It's very like, you know, I guess pared down, more simple, but like, I think that's why I think they're really pretty.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Sad song, but it's a nice song.
Well, I mean, you know, it is about dying,
sad?
but...
Yeah.
Well, there's also, you know, it's romance about dying, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, well, grow old and die with you. That's sad, I guess, but there's also, you know, there's something nice about that sentiment, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of these songs I thought were kind of sad, though, but... You know, I like sad songs too sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, you can get sadder than this, is all I'm saying.
maybe because it's on my funeral playlist. I just think of it
that's
like...
true. Well, it is about dying. So. It's just also about love.
Yeah.
Not the only song on this album about that.
It's very sweet. Very sweet and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how the chorus is... You know, reading these lyrics, you wouldn't think it would work necessarily. It's rather wordy for a chorus, but it does really flow well together.
Yeah. I like that.
Yep.
All right.
But yeah, you know, very popular song.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. Yeah.
Definitely beautiful song.
You definitely see why this was their big hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
People love the solo acoustic stuff.
Yeah, it's always popular, I think. So, that's good. All right, number 6. Your heart is an empty room.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another one that's still sad, but I feel like it gives hope.
Yeah.
You know, it's low-key, but it has nice beats there. Nice melodies, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, this feels very 2000s soft rock to me.
Yes.
And even though this feels like a quintessential almost middle track, like just kind of fire and forget it just on the album, it's one of my favorite of theirs, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really like the sentimentality, the sort of like synth strings backing it with the acoustic guitar and like the little xylophone sound in there.
Oh, yeah. Love a good xylophone. Definitely. Did you think it was sad?
Yeah, I feel like this is a sad song. Sadder than I Will Follow You Into the Dark.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but this, I don't know. I think this song is like more hopeful though than I Will Follow You Into the Dark.
Yeah, I can see that. I just feel like the music's more melancholy.
Yeah, I can see that. Again, this is like the lyrics I think are just very poetic to me.
Yeah, this is very well written lyrically.
Yeah.
You know, that constant imagery of like a house fire in there.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I don't know. I really like this song.
Me too. For sure. Love anything that involves fires. Any songs that involve burning it down. It's very emotional. Anyway. All right, what are we on? Number 7. Someday You Will Be Loved. This is another kind of bittersweet song.
Yeah, it's kind of a dick move, too.
You think so?
Well, I mean, he left just with the note. The speaker of the song did. And it's kind of a, you know, like, it's a true sentiment, but it's also just like, what a dick thing to say to break up.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's just a note. You know, they had cell phones in 2005. You could have at
Yeah.
least called. You didn't
Yeah.
want to do it in person.
Well, I like how he says, I cannot pretend that I felt any regret. I'm like, oof. No.
Yeah, but the guitar and piano are really good in this song.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. And one of the other things I liked is how he says at the very beginning, with eyes like summer, all beauty and truth. Like it's a pretty sentiment before he's like, yeah, then I left a note and I left.
Yeah.
Love that. But yeah, again, it's another kind of sad one.
Yeah, well, I feel like this one, you know, is the most hopeful.
Yeah.
Because it is like, you know, you'll move on from this. There's love out there. You'll forget about this.
There's something, I don't know, I guess because it's like an ending. So to me, it was like more just like, it's more sad, even though it's like, yeah, someday you will be loved. But I don't know, it's just kind of one of those like trying to find the hope in a sad situation. So
Yeah.
little melancholy for me, but not a bad song. I like the song.
Yeah, and there's 3 songs in a row with that sort of bittersweet feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Of mixing love and loss.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good breakup song.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's good. All good.
Yeah. But, you know, probably a bad idea to leave a note like this.
I know. I was like, oh. Yeah, that's rough. Poor thing. I mean, look, do what you gotta do, I guess, but I was like, there are better ways.
Yes. And I feel like if you're gonna leave a note, you should be more, like, flippant about it. You know, it's like, oh, we're breaking up, and not all this, like, you know, I know it's bad right now, I'm breaking up with you, but one day, you'll forget about all this.
I feel like nobody wants
loved.
to hear that.
It'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's too nice a sentiment for too, like, mean a gesture, you know?
Yeah. That to me is like trying to justify it, you know? Like I know I'm hurting you right now, but it's for your own good, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. But he did not feel regret, so.
No. Exactly. I'm telling you, I was like, ooh, that's rough.
But yeah, definitely an interesting thing to write a song about. But you know, I like it.
Yeah, and again, very evocative. I feel like, you know, you feel that emotion there. All right, next.
Yep.
We have Crooked Teeth.
The last single on this album.
I didn't realize this was a single.
Yeah. It's also the most upbeat and I think straightforwardly rock song on this album.
Yeah, it's definitely got a different kind of vibe, which I liked. I thought it was good. And again, like the lyrics stand out to me. I love how he says, "'Cause I built you a home in my heart with rotten wood and it decayed from the start, 'cause you can't find nothing at all if there was nothing there all along."
Yeah.
That's pretty. Very pretty.
Another bad relationship. Another breakup.
That's good, but I mean, I like the vibe of the song as opposed to like what we've been hearing on the album. I think it's like, and I like the placement on the album for this kind of song.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Someday You Will Be Loved was a bit more of a pickup from the previous few songs, and this is definitely, you know, like I said, the most upbeat song on the album.
Yeah, definitely more upbeat and still chill at the same time. So that's what I really like about all these songs. Like, to me, it still has that chill vibe, but it's like, you know, more upbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like the guitar on this one. I really like the opening line. It was 100 degrees as we sat beneath a willow tree whose tears didn't care. They just hung in the air and refused to fall.
Yes. Love that. Yeah.
Just thought that's really cool imagery.
It is. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Just poetic, man. I'm telling you. Their lyrics are like awesome.
Yep.
All right. The next one, What Sarah Said. I thought this was another good one, but it's very sad to me.
Yeah. Surprisingly upbeat, though, for a song as sad as it is lyrically.
Yes. When you listen to the lyrics, it's like, Oh, okay. First of all, anything that's like about the ICU is gonna be a sad song, right? So,
Right, yeah.
like, you know, from the start, you're like, oh no, like this is, yeah, this is not. But I mean, the imagery they kind of bring up in their lyrics, like, it's, I think, it's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would like sit here and listen to this though, because it's just super sad.
Yeah, and I really like the way it's written. It's this like sort of descriptive moment of everything that's happening in this situation. You know, it's obviously
Yes.
someone who's has some sort of like medical emergency, and it seems pretty clear that they might not make it. And just like
Yeah.
sort of what happens in that situation in the waiting room, just a bunch of people gathered around, and I really like you can really like feel just from the lyrics like being in that place. And
Yeah.
also I feel like, you know, the speakers are part of it, and then just like sort of just taking their mind off of things from like just describing everything that's happening, like sort of like just kind of out of it feeling. It's like, you know,
Yeah. Really putting into words those feelings.
yeah, it really captures the scene it's describing.
It's super captured the scene. And like this is another one that could be on my funeral playlist, honestly, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a pretty powerful song, I'll say.
Yeah, and I like the opening line, and it came to me then that every plan is a tiny prayer to Father Time.
Yes.
I like the vocal delivery, which, like I said, it's kind of upbeat, almost. You know, it's kind of cheery for a song that's about death.
Yeah.
The piano is really good, really stand out in this. I like the long outro for this.
Yeah, it was very fitting for this song.
And yeah, like, again, that sort of, like, you know, it's about both love and loss. What Sarah said is love is watching someone die. So it's not, you know, it is about that horrible moment of waiting, and waiting to see if someone's going to be okay if they're, you know, going to die. But also that, you know, this is, also about the love you have for that person, which is a really beautiful sentiment.
And having someone like I was close to who died recently, they like perfectly captured that where you say, you know, love is also like being there when someone's dying, like for sure, because like you're not going, it's a weird thing to like witness, right? And like you're not going to be there when somebody's dying when it's not somebody you love. So I thought that was like a really nice sentiment too.
Yeah, and just, yeah, really captures an emotion, you know, in a scenario that's fairly common really well.
Right. Exactly. All right. Moving on.
Yep.
The next song we have, Brothers on a Hotel Bed.
Yep. Also, one of my favorites from them. It's just a really well constructed song. I like how it takes a while to get for the lyrics to kick in, and it's this like a piano intro at the start. It's a really pretty piano.
I really like the piano. Another sad song, I felt like. But it was really pretty. And of course, you know, the lyrics again, very evocative. So the piano is like, to me, I just really like that. Like, I think of all the songs in this album, I like this piano the best.
Yeah.
Or this, I don't know how you say that. This intro the best.
Yeah. Very nice piano intro.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I really like the lyrics on this. Like it definitely like paints a picture, you know, for your imagination. I really like that part, but it's still just, you know, a little sad.
Yeah, but again, that's sort of it's a rather bright song. It's about like still trying to, like, you know, on the back of a motorbike with your arms outstretched trying to take flight.
Yeah.
You know, even though, you know, the speaker's an old person, kind of just, I guess, not really catching up with their age, still feeling young.
Yeah. I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like some of the lines here. You may tire of me as our December sun is setting, because I'm not who I used to be. Really like how that's repeated at the end.
Yeah.
And I have learned that even landlocked lovers yearn for the sea like Navy men.
Yeah, I really like that line.
Yeah.
Definitely full of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, I think this is the only spot in this album. I pointed it out on the last one that this is something they like to do a lot, is repeat one of the lines from the song at the end. I think this is the only spot on this album that does that.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that.
The rest of them mostly end on a repeated figure. Just a bit of a
That's a
change from
good
this album
point.
from the last one.
Yeah, I didn't even note that. Good point. All right. Anything else on this one?
No. Again, one of my favorite of theirs, period, from their whole discography.
Ooh, love that. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites just because of like I don't know, it's just very emotional song.
Yeah, I can see that.
I tend to pick more like happier songs, but it's very good. It's a very good song. So, all right. Number 11, Stable Song. So this is the album closer. I really like this one. And like I said at the beginning, I like that this song is the end of the album. And this is another one that's kind of like, an emotional song. All of these are like emotional songs, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I think it's just another really pretty song.
So, fun fact, this is like a different version of another song they had earlier. That other song was 12 minutes, so.
Oh.
It's from one of their EPs, so we didn't get a chance to listen to it on the podcast.
I was going to say, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm always like, anytime I listen to the song, I'm thinking about comparing it to the other one and how it's different. Like, this one's an acoustic. It's more written to be like a, closer, because it definitely has that, like, closing energy.
Yeah. It's, it definitely has a closing imagery. And I love the one, or the couple of lines that I really liked here. The gift of memories an awful curse. With age, it just gets much worse. That's like, just, again, very poetic.
Yeah.
Light on the lyrics on this one, but, I think very emotional.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And like I said, good ending for the album.
Yeah. I think, I'm trying to think which one is my favorite song on the album. Honestly,
Yeah, I've already said mine, so.
Yeah, I feel like I probably already said it too, but I don't know. I think it depends on the day I listen to it, but I think this time I was really feeling Summer Skin.
It's a good song, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think listening to it this time, I feel like I like Transatlanticism a bit better, but this does have some of my favorite songs of theirs, period, so.
I got you. Yeah.
Really good album, really good by them.
Definitely. I love the way that Death Cab, like their instrumentation, their lyrics, they're like very, very well thought out, emotionally charged lyrics.
Yeah.
On top of that, on top of the music is just, I think they're so talented. And I think I like this album the best out of all the ones we've listened to already.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good album. Definitely some of their best work, so.
We always like the different albums are our favorites, so
it's not that far off for me.
Yeah, it's not that far off. Yeah, it's I think they consistently put out good music, so like it's not hard to pick a favorite album. Like they're all I think very good albums, so I can see why you would like Transatlanticism better. And that was definitely a good album. And this one, though, had more of like the feel that I like. Even though a lot of them were sad, I don't tend to like to listen to very sad music, but I thought this had enough like hope and upbeat qualities that it wasn't like super super sad.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these songs do sort of undercut some of their sadness. There is an element of like love or hopefulness.
Yeah.
In even the sadder ones.
Yeah, but I think they capture like moments of life that, like you said, they're very evocative. Like you're picturing, or at least I am, like I'm picturing this or remembering a time that I felt this, which again makes it very relatable. So love that.
Yeah, and I think they're very skilled at drawing that out. Particularly songs like "What Sarah Said."
Yes.
Or "Summer Skin" really capture a moment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, super good. Love that.
But yeah, great album. If you don't have anything else, I'll take us out.
Yeah, I was going to say, early 2000s is like one of my favorite, times in music. And I like that this was, getting mainstream, but just indie enough to still have such like a different quality, I feel like, than what was super mainstream at the time. So
Yeah.
I really like that they can do that they have the ability to kind of get more popular but still keep their unique sound and feel.
Yeah, well this was during a time where like there was a lot of indie artists getting like sort of picking up more mainstream popularity, so
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
there you
so
go.
that has been Beach View. Thanks for listening and tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.